I guess what inspires me to volunteer is the idea of trying to help people reach their potential.
I always get more back than I give.
You can't just take from the community, you've got to be a part of it.
One person could make a tremendous difference in the community.
It's amazing to see the reaction that you get when you do volunteer your time.
It gets in your blood and then it never goes away.
If I have these gifts and abilities and talents or these passions that I have, like, why not use those?
In North Florida, we have two banks that contribute quite a bit back to the community. It's Novus Bank that's in Jacksonville, and then we have a sister bank in Fernandina called First Coast Community Bank. And both banks contribute hours upon hours. Our company has always set aside funds to give back dollars to the community. And as the economy turned, we found it difficult to always give the money. But what we did have was the ability to people to volunteer and give back their time and their talent. A lot of times we have our staff that go, I want to give time, but I really don't know what's out there to do. And so Mike White brought this idea to us, well, let's put all the people that need the volunteer help together with the people that want to volunteer. And so it was just a great opportunity. It made a lot of sense.
When I really got involved in Jacksonville, the mayors, Jake Godbold, Tommy Azuri, Ed Austin, John Delaney, all four of those guys in a row for 24 years, they put me in ahead of every organization. I was chairman of the University of North Florida, and then I became chairman of the Chamber of Commerce in '91. 2001, 2, and 3, I was chairman of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and of course, I think during the 80s, they had me a member of the Jacksonville Transportation Authority. Boys and Girls Club, I've been on that board for over 34 years. I was chairman of the YMCA. I just get involved with a lot of different things.
I work at North Florida School teaching agribusiness. That project evolved out of my volunteering at the garden and seeing just how much the students at that School of Special Education enjoyed working in the garden. It's been a life-changing experience. And my friends at the Veterans Farm came and helped me at the school, and when they heard that I was trying to start up this program, we all got together, and in one day we planted 100 blueberries and 100 blackberries on the campus. And so that was the start of Very Good Farms, and from there we've kind of blossomed.
Seniors on a Mission is a seniors ministry, and we use community service as the vehicle to minister to the seniors' lives. We take independent seniors on day-long mission trips. Seniors on a Mission does a lot of behind-the-scenes work for local nonprofits, so we don't generally touch the lives of the people directly involved with that other nonprofit, but we touch the lives of the staff, and we reduce their workload tremendously. The staff is just so incredibly blessed because that would have taken them weeks or months to do, and we accomplish it in a day. There's nothing more precious than seeing a person that was slipping into deep depression and isolation become a joy in their own family again. We're proud of that.
We have this group of women that are so passionate and so committed to doing this work for other women when they are diagnosed. All of our advocates, of course, are breast cancer survivors themselves, and they just have this drive and this desire to be there for someone when they get this devastating news of a breast cancer diagnosis. A patient will call and leave us a message saying, I need your help. And then I match them with one of our Pink Sister advocates that had the same diagnosis and the same protocol. And then they begin their journey together. Many times after they are well and back out and just, ready to go and feel like life is back to normal again, they come back to us and they say, I want to be a part of what I experienced. I now want to do this too. To be able to come back and revisit what you went through, what you experienced, that's a pretty amazing thing. And the women that are doing this in our group are so loving and so caring, and they're just extremely unusual people.
The mayor has said that he's excited. I mean, he's obviously honored at this award. He is just thrilled, and the recognition for mayor's mentors, and more importantly because it raises the awareness of folks in the community via the HandsOn Jacks Award to get folks mentoring our kids. We were able, through the mayor's efforts, to go out and recruit 600 plus new school-based mentors and put them in the schools through these programs. Big Brothers, Big Sisters communities in schools take stock in children. Duval County Public Schools Read It Forward Jacks program in the Bridge of Northeast Florida. Those are 5 of the many organizations that do school-based mentoring. The more mentors you can get with mentees in schools, the fewer problems in the schools. The more times the teachers in the classroom can actually spend teaching and instructing our children and not dealing with disciplinary issues. You migrate that at a more macro level to the community. Now you have a community and little sections of communities where mentors are tied to mentees, families are stronger, parents have less difficulties with the child, there's not as much truancy in the neighborhood, and it just mushrooms. It gets to the very point of why we want to volunteer in Jacksonville.
This is our first year in Jacksonville, and City Year is an AmeriCorps program, and it recruits 17 to 24-year-olds to serve full-time for 10 months in schools. So they get there before students arrive during the day and stay until after-school programs are over. And during the day, they work as tutors and mentors and role models, help run after-school programs, really focusing on what we call the ABCs, attendance, behavior, and course performance in English and math. One of the great things about our model is that we really utilize what we call the near-peer relationships. So it's something where our members, being 17 to 24-year-olds, they are able to connect in a different way than teachers, and by design even, where they're not the authority figure in the classroom, but there's somebody that can really form that mentoring relationship. So they can actually spend some of their relationship capital that they build up with the students to keep them on track, to tell them to encourage them to complete their work. And it's something where the students, you can just tell that they're bonding in a way with the core members. They're very proud to share their successes with the core members. They're even in some cases, we've had folks come up to the core members and say, "Will you be my mentor?" It's something that we can already tell that those relationships are being formed, and in a lot of ways, just having a caring adult that believes in a student can have such a tremendous impact just in general.
One of the missions at Florida Coastal is to serve the underserved in our community. In an effort to meet that mission, we have our law students participate in a voluntary pro bono program. There are 2 reasons really that we want to get them involved, and one is so that they can learn about the needs of the underserved in the community, and the second is so that they can actually use the skills that they acquire volunteering in their practice of law later on. The last graduating class, about close to 40% of the students performed at least 50 hours of work while they were in school, and the number was close to a third that had actually performed 125 hours of work. So it's just an amazing group of students, and I'm truly humbled by their willingness to get involved, and they truly get what it's about to help the underserved.
Men and women of Patrol Squadron 8, how they work tirelessly throughout the day. They do that job, and then they still find the time to go out in the local community to volunteer opportunities that interest them and knock it out of the park. Even while we're deployed, we always look for opportunities to see the local community, interact with the host nation. We found those opportunities in both Thailand and Singapore, and do Comrel opportunities there as well, volunteering. So you truly get to see how different cultures and the needs of different countries, which is amazing. The response from the folks we've actually given the time with, and the people that are in charge of those organizations has been outstanding. They enjoy the interaction. It's great. We're not just the military folks that work in that base and fly planes overhead. They see us, they talk to us in person, they understand. The military is very similar. We're just people that wear the uniform, and we're all part of the same community.
The JT Townsend Foundation started 2 years ago, and we have kids and adults with disabilities. We help them receive adaptive equipment. We help financially. And we also help with spinal cord research. We recently helped a family with 2 twin boys who had cerebral palsy, and all they wanted was a heater in their pool so they can swim together. And the heater and pool made their bodies feel good when they get out, and we were able to install that. I was able to go to their house and just watch them interact with each other in the pool, and the parents, they're giving me hugs and crying and saying thank you. Because without you guys, they wouldn't be able to do this. And I mean, that kind of made us tear up, and it was just a wonderful experience. This foundation has been a blessing. I'm able to go meet these families and see the reaction on their faces, and we just sit and talk for hours. They don't want me to leave, and it's an overwhelming feeling.
We have a great need for education of our children, and our resources are lacking, and we've come up with a way to take people's and businesses' excess stuff and process it and turn it into usable objects for the teachers to give our children a good education. We put it all on display, and once a month the Duval County teachers are allowed to come in there and pick up supplies, no charge, and it's loaded in their cars. They can take it and enhance their curriculum for their schoolwork.
I would say that volunteering has changed my idea of what it means to be successful. For a long time, I thought that meant that I had to achieve the highest level of whatever I could in my life. But what volunteering has shown me is that being successful can really be as simple as helping someone else find their happiness. The Hands-On for Hope Family Fun Fest was basically kind of our attempt at going big for doing something for Global Youth Service Day in 2012. We kind of felt like in some way, shape, or form, everyone's life had been affected by cancer, whether it be a family member or a friend or just someone that you had worked with. You knew somebody who had been affected by cancer. So kind of the group of us just came together and like, let's make a day where kids can come and forget about their problems, spend time with their family, pick up some resources, and just have a good time. When we had people show up, we really just tried to instantly make a connection with them, ask them how they heard about us, what they were doing there. And I remember one family came with a little boy, I think he was 4 years old, and he had been diagnosed with leukemia. And it kind of didn't even strike me that, we might actually be bringing kids to this event who are struggling with cancer, who are facing that battle, whose families are having to, potentially deal with the idea of losing a son or a daughter. But just to see them come and have fun and play some games and just, do something that normal kids do. It was like, no matter how many people come, if this one child came and had that experience, it was entirely worth it.
Find something that you can do well, do it well, and then see if you can do more.
Once you get there, you will never go back.
Don't wait. Get started, jump in.
Whatever your passion is in your life, there's almost always capacity to share it with others.
It makes you feel good inside and warms your heart.
We're only on Earth so long, so it's up to us to make a difference.
Just you pick the one you want to get involved in, and I promise you'll have a good time.
You really get more out of it than what you give.
I don't know any other better way to show people love and give them hope than to serve them and to volunteer. And it just fills me with the utmost joy to be able to do that.